Right now, Richland Center's mayor is responding to the charges filed against the city's police chief, who has been on paid leave for months.
And public health officials are teaching local parents about warning signs that their child may be vaping.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
First tonight, the Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the man killed in an officer-involved shooting over the weekend. An officer fatally shot 64-year-old Dean Thomas Sunday night on Raymond Road. Police Chief Vic Wall says Thomas was firing a gun at officers. An investigation by the Division of Criminal Investigation is ongoing. The chief of police for Richland Center faces 4 misdemeanor charges this afternoon for 4th-degree sexual assault and theft.
A complaint filed today in Richland County Court alleges Lucas Clements inappropriately touched a bartender while she was working and then allegedly stole her tips. This was back in June. After that, the Division of Criminal Investigation took over that probe. The police commission put Clements on paid administrative leave. And since then, members of the commission and the mayor of Richland Center have all told us they didn't know what the investigation was all about. Here's what Mayor Mike Kaufman told us today.
I guess I'm going to say it was a surprise, but we are a small community and everybody knows everybody when you live in a small community, and we work together and we still all have respect for one another. And I still have a great amount of respect for the chief and the job that he did.
Now, as for the next steps, who will run the department, we're still waiting to hear about that. The police commission will be in charge of that decision. They're expected to discuss this at their next meeting. That's this coming Monday, November 4th. With more than 1,500 cases of e-cigarette use connected to lung injury in the U.S. and vaping growing among teens, public health officials are pushing for change.
With misinformation and confusion about what's causing these outbreaks, local experts want to make sure adults know what their children are doing. Our Amanda Quintana is here now with those details.
As of a week ago, the CDC has reported 34 deaths linked to vaping, many connected to black market devices. But Public Health Madison in Dane County says just because you get your Juul or e-cigarette from a legitimate store doesn't mean it's safe.
This watch can pop out here.
What looks like a watch is actually a vaping device. These discreet products, even a hoodie where you smoke out of the strings, things many parents didn't even know existed.
Just knowing what to look for is, I think, the first step for parents to know.
The second, knowing how dangerous inhaling those cancer-causing chemicals is, a message that just isn't getting across to kids.
A Juul contains almost twice the amount of nicotine that other vape products contain, and so knowing that nicotine has a huge impact on an adolescent brain and can rewire that brain to be more susceptible to future addictions.
So Public Health Madison and Dane County is pushing for parents, school staff, those who see kids the most, to look for the signs.
Knowing that we're addicting a brand new generation of youth for the future is very troublesome, and that's why we're doing these presentations in the community.
Today, showing nurses at UW Health trends they're all too familiar with.
You know, that age group is still pretty invincible. They're not going to die. That's not going to happen to me. My parents have smoked cigarettes forever, and nothing bad has happened to them, so why are you so worried about it?
Dr. Amy Plum say nurses requested this presentation to learn more about what they're dealing with.
With all of the illnesses that are happening with people vaping that are in the news, so there are a lot of young adults that are actually quite frightened about their cough, and they think it might be related to their tobacco use.
With a goal to open up conversation, see what's attracting young people, and figure out how to stop it. Sheehan says this will take the whole community.
Because the FDA has zero regulations on these products, we have no idea what's in them, and so youth are using it at their own risk, and that risk right now is death.
Tonight, there is a presentation at Sun Prairie High School, followed by DeForest tomorrow, and one at Madison La Follette in November. We'll include a list of those on Channel3000.com.
Amanda, thank you. The October snow may have caught you by surprise. We received a lot of viewer photos showing the fall leaves covered in a fresh blanket of snow. Much of it has melted already, but there is more on the way just in time for those trick-or-treaters. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has all the details.
Charlotte, unfortunately, we have an alert day in the forecast for Halloween itself for the possibility for some snow of about 1 to 3 inches. There could be mixed with a little rain in the afternoon, so it means a wet and cold trick-or-treat afternoon and evening. We're looking at about 1 to 3 inches of snow generally through southern and southeastern Wisconsin. Heaviest amounts maybe just south and east of Madison, maybe some localized 4-inch amounts there. Things pretty quiet overnight. Look for temperatures to drop into the middle 20s by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we could see a mixture of rain and snow late in the afternoon. Otherwise it'll be cloudy and cold with a high of 38. Later on I'll take a look at when we can expect the snow just in time for Halloween.
All right, Gary, thank you. And this morning, snow blanketed the slopes at Tyrol Basin. Officials say it is the earliest they've seen snow on the hill in quite some time. Some workers there even got in their first runs of the season. 3 inches of snow at their disposal. The early snow has many excited for the season to come, and while it gets people in the winter sports mindset, what the folks at Tyrol want more than anything are consistently cold temperatures.
The snow is helpful because it gets everybody excited and gets them thinking about skiing and snowboarding and or tubing. But we just need cold weather, and we can do Mother Nature's job for her.
Yeah, McGree said if the weather allows it, he wants to start making snow on Halloween night and to have the park at least partially open on Saturday. He also said the brand new tubing area should be ready soon, slated for the beginning of December.
Right now, Madison alders are in a special meeting to decide the fate of a proposed wheel tax. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says the $40 charge is critical to balance the city's spending plan, but some are concerned it is too expensive for low-income families. Last week, the Finance Committee passed an amendment to offset the cost for mothers who use a federal food benefits program. We'll have an update from the council meeting tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Madison parents are invited to share their input for the district's next superintendent. The Madison School Board wants your help deciding what qualities it should prioritize during the job search. There's a community meeting tonight at Memorial High School and another one tomorrow night at La Follette, and you can also complete a survey online at mmsd.org/superintendent search. Energizer says moving battery production from its Vermont plant to Wisconsin will happen in phases. It's expected to be completed at the beginning of 2021. A spokesperson says there are no immediate job impacts in Vermont and operations will continue through 2020. There are about 90 employees who work there. Officials say they want to move production to their existing plant in Portage to increase efficiency. UW-Madison police are adding a new position to fill the void when the Madison Police Department removes its Langdon Street officer. They say it's to ensure student safety, but Jamie Perez spoke to a student today who says it's just not the same. Jamie?
Madison police officer Damian Figueroa has built such a strong rapport with students that he made them feel safe. One student I spoke with today said while she's happy UW police are stepping up to get someone to cover that area, she feels safety is still being compromised to some degree.
When news first broke that Madison police officer Damian Figueroa would no longer be serving the Langdon Street community, UW student Brooke Wilczewski was one of many students who felt
scared. I felt disrespected. I felt voiceless, and I felt as though myself, my vote, and my own situation didn't matter to the city of Madison.
According to the deputy mayor, due to budget cuts, former police chief Mike Koval recommended several options for the mayor to cut down on. The Langdon Street officer position was one of them. UW-Madison police chief Kristen Roman said a new position with her department is being added that will help fill the void.
We aren't looking to necessarily replace him. I don't actually think that there's anybody who could. But what we are looking to do is build relationships in those areas as well.
I think that's a good step in the right direction. However, because we are on city territory, the city police officers and the university police officers function completely different ways.
Madison police will still be in charge of handling criminal investigations in this area. Chief Roman said the UW position is aimed at a focus on safety and resources for students.
One of the benefits for sure that this position will offer is that link, a more solid and consistent direct link for those students in these areas to campus resources.
Wilczewski says it's more than just about having a replacement.
Because the established relationship that Figueroa has so made it his goal to establish with every single student and resident in the area that he covers, that it's going to be a different dynamic.
Chief Roman said she hopes to continue to work with Madison Police to fill the gap as much as possible.
And definitely we all need each other in order to keep our communities safe.
I appreciate that step in the right direction. I want to make sure that that is said again, but I think there needs to be more conversations had.
Chief Roman said they hope to get that position started around the same time that Officer Figueroa's position is officially done, so the transition can be as seamless as possible. The UW Police Department is still working on determining what exactly the responsibilities of this new officer will be.
More local news now. For unscheduled arrivals and departures of F-35 fighter jets at Truax Field prompted one noise complaint. The Greater Madison Chamber of Commerce says the flights happened in July and August. The lone complaint was filed August 14th. The report also notes Dane County Regional Airport received more than 1,000 complaints from October 2018 to March 2019. More than 80% of those were related to military aircraft. At the Middleton Airport, construction on a new solar farm is officially underway. Madison Gas and Electric held a groundbreaking celebration at the Maury Field Solar Array today. 70% of the 5-megawatt array will serve the city of Middleton through MG&E's shared solar program. That allows residents the opportunity to power their home or business from locally generated solar energy. The other 30% will help power the Middleton Cross Plains School District.
Let's all work together to reduce the use of fossil fuels and instead use clean energy. It's our planet, and together we are going to save it and make it even better.
The mayor says the solar farm will help the city reach its 100% renewable energy use goal by 2050.
Still ahead at 6, a Janesville barber is celebrating a big milestone.
We'll introduce you to the man who's been cutting hair for 60 years and share why community members are lining up for a trim this week.
For years, he's been taking care of thousands of people all across Rock County.
And over time, Burr the Barber has earned quite the reputation. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with why his customers are rushing in to see him this week.
Yeah, well, Eric and Charlotte, Burr has been cutting hair for decades, but his customers say to them, he's more than just a barber.
In a small shop near downtown Janesville, one man has built quite the reputation for cutting hair.
She says, how many haircuts have you done? And I said, I don't know. I says, probably around 300,000, I said, probably.
Burr has lived almost all of his 82 years in Rock County and has spent the last 60 of them clipping, trimming,
Then it melted quicker on the sidewalks
and chatting.
I went to barber college, but I always thought about doing it even when I was younger.
And well, throughout the years, the cuts have changed.
It was against all the techniques of barbering I ever saw, you know, make a bowl cut. Cutting out more.
The clients have it.
I had a guy here just the other day. He said he's been coming 50 years, he says.
But after 60 years,
well, that's the last one I'm gonna take today, but
things are starting to slow down, not only for those clients,
eyebrows get so darn bushy.
Yeah.
That's an old age thing too.
But for the shop itself, which at one point had 5 barbers, now back down to its original 1. And that one,
like I say, I'm gonna miss a lot of the fellows, but
only has a few days left. Burr's last day on the job this Thursday.
decided I got a few things I want to do yet, and like I say, one is play more golf and maybe take a few more trips.
His longtime faithful coming in for one last trim. Well, they still can.
I don't want to end up where I can't do it anymore, and I've been thankful. My health has been good, and a lot of people can't say that.
Now, the good news is Burr has found someone to buy the shop, a barber named Todd Weir, who plans on keeping it open and operating. Now, Burr says he's planning one last get-together later in November for him and all of his customers who can come and say thanks for all those haircuts throughout the years.
Great story. Wish Burr nothing but the best in retirement.
Adam, thank you. Next at 6, your kids may need some extra waterproof layers for trick-or-treating this year.
Gary tracking what could be a messy rain-snow mix for Halloween. We'll have your first alert forecast next.
Well, we had some snow last night and a narrow band, but right over southern Wisconsin. You can see where the snow fell, just maybe about a 50 to 60 mile wide band across our viewing area. Heaviest amounts are up toward Baraboo, just shy of 4 inches there. Most areas were in the 1 to 3 inch range. Here at the station, we had about 3 inches, and a couple of inches came down at the Dane County Regional Airport. But we have an alert day in the forecast for the next round of snow. That'll be from tomorrow night into Halloween Thursday for about 1 to 3 inches of snow with maybe a little rain mixed in the afternoon. So that means a wet and cold afternoon and evening for the trick-or-treaters. In fact, temperatures will be barely above freezing, so we might not even see any rain mixed in with the snow, but some light snow likely at 5 p.m. Temperatures will drop off to around freezing toward the end of the trick-or-treat time period. Now, taking a look at the snowfall amounts from the computer models, Still a little bit of variability here. The GFS computer model, the main U.S. forecasting model, showing the potential for several inches of snow, maybe as much as 6 to 8 inches in far southern Wisconsin. But the European computer model, which has done a much better job over the last couple of weather systems, including the rain last weekend and the snow for yesterday, showing about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, maybe some slightly heavier amounts over parts of southeastern Wisconsin. And the RPM computer model, which is what we use for our day-to-day forecasting, has even less snowfall. And this is through midnight on Halloween night. So we're thinking about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall, maybe some localized 4 inch amounts through maybe Rock and Jefferson counties over toward the Milwaukee area. The farther north and west you go, north and west of Richland Center, maybe less than an inch of snow altogether, but still it's going to be cold for the trick-or-treaters. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Pretty quiet out there tonight. As we check out the almanac, though, the high temperature of 40, 13 degrees below average, and that snow on the ground certainly didn't help that. 28 the overnight low. We're at 36 now. The air is calm, and the temperatures are continuing to drop as a strong southwesterly wind brings the next weather system. The snow here be moving in with rain and snow by late tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see the snow on Wednesday night into Thursday. So look for partly cloudy skies tonight, low temperature dropping to 26, but tomorrow we'll see a mixture of light rain and snow possibly developing as early as the afternoon with a high temperature of 38 degrees. On future track, things pretty quiet overnight, not expecting any precipitation, but then as we get into tomorrow, you can see by 4 p.m., some light rain, maybe mixed with a little bit of snow as temperatures are in the upper 30s. That changes over to snow tomorrow night with low temperatures in the upper 20s. And then snow or maybe a mixture of rain and snow by 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon with high temperatures right around the freezing mark. Again, 1 to 3 inches of snow through much of our viewing area. As we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures stay cold. The snow on the ground keeping highs in the 30s for Friday and Saturday. Some more rain and snow chances next week.
The Badger men's basketball team will play UW lacrosse at the Kohl Center Friday night, and really everybody wins. Stories coming up in sports. The NCAA says it will modify its rule to allow college athletes to profit from their names, images, and likenesses. Now they have to figure out just how to modify it. The NCAA's board of directors says it's time to change in a manner consistent with the collegiate model. 3 separate divisions within the NCAA will start the process to update the rules, so there's still a distinction between college and professional sports. The plan is to have student athletes have the same opportunities to make money as all other students, maintain the priorities of education and the collegiate experience, and ensure that the new rules are transparent, focused, and enforceable. The board wants the 3 divisions to implement the new rules by January of 2021.
They're students first. They come to school to get an education. We support them, and that helps to prepare them for the future. They're not our employees. We're not paying them for what they do on the field, and we want to make sure we maintain that distinction. We want them to be students and not employees of our universities, and we think that's in the best interest of all.
It's important to note that this is different than the California law of virtually unrestricted market for student athletes. More than a dozen states have expressed interest in creating laws similar to the California law in the last several months. Ohio State Athletic Director Gene Smith suggests state and federal laws provided the NCAA the kick in the butt to speed up today's discussions. The Packers didn't make a move at the NFL trading deadline, so they figure getting Devontae Adams and Jay Sternberger back from injury will help soon. The Packers are at the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday on News 3 Now. The Badger men's basketball team has a game at the Kohl Center Friday night. It's an exhibition against UW La Crosse. It's an important game for a lot of reasons. The game benefits the Guarding Against Cancer initiative, so that's cool. And Greg Gard's Badgers get a look and feel of a real game night. It also gives a chance for the lacrosse players like Portage's Craig Steele and Mount Horeb's Tarek Nesheim to play at the Kohl Center.
I think it's great for the game of basketball to be able to give a school like La Crosse, for instance, this opportunity to play here. A lot of those guys either envisioned of playing in a state tournament, played in a state tournament here, or dreamed of playing for Wisconsin. To be able to play a state school is important. It's against an outside competition, a team that is preparing for a season that'll be running actual offense and have a plan for what they're trying to do. So it serves many purposes.
The Brewers will have a lot of changes coming up next season, most notably the change from the name Miller Park to whatever they're going to call it when American Family Insurance takes over the rights. And it's been leaked that the Brewers' new official logo will be a return to the old logo. Of course, they've had more than a few logos throughout their history, starting with a couple in their first couple of years in the Seattle Pilots era. But now it appears the Brewers will go back to that MB ball and glove they had in the 80s, more of a navy blue and some subtle differences, but with the M and the barley, that's on the way out. By the way, the new logo was spotted on the Topps baseball card site with a preview of their 2020 card collection. What's old is new again. It's like fashion. I mean, you hang onto your bell bottoms long enough, they'll come back. Well, maybe not that.
There's always been kind of a love for that old ball and glove logo.
And there's some suggestion that they might go to their pinstripe uniforms, too, those old pinstripe uniforms they wear on Fridays, like maybe all the time, or most all the time.
Hey, whatever it takes to win.
Cubs and the Brewers open up March 30th.
Wow.
Is that at Wrigley or is that Miller?
Wow, I'm glad I'm sitting for this.
Whatever it'll be called.
Hopefully Miller Park, because it might be more weather like this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get rid of the snow by then. We're starting out early, and that's keeping temperatures in the 30s already. We're looking at about 1 to 3 inches of snow from tomorrow night through Thursday. Again, there could be some slightly higher amounts, mainly south and east of Madison, but still a tough day for the trick-or-treaters. High only 34 on Halloween. Temperatures staying in the 30s through Saturday, around 40 for the end of the weekend, and then back to the 30s for next week with some rain and snow chances.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.